My mother-in-law revealed my miscarriage at Thanksgiving, but blames me for ruining dinner.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do it.
I'm 32 female. I spent Thanksgiving with my in-laws, and it was one of the most upsetting days of my life. My husband and I have been trying for a baby for around 3 years. Last year, I got pregnant and miscarriage twice.
That is really, really tough.
That's so hard. It was devastating, and my greatest fear is that I'll never be able to have a child with my husband. By the way, this comes from Embarrassed P 1036 on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So in October, I found out I was pregnant for the 3rd time. We were thrilled, but also cautious because of my history with miscarriages. Originally, the plan was to keep it between us until I made it to the 2nd trimester. Unfortunately, I have a well-intentioned yet nosy mother-in-law. We were at dinner one night with my in-laws, and my mother-in-law noticed I wasn't drinking. My mother-in-law asked if I was pregnant, and I am horrible at hiding my emotions, so my reaction to her question gave it away. I admitted that I was pregnant, but explained that we're very cautious and want to keep it private until I make it to the 2nd trimester. My father-in-law and mother-in-law said that they understood and agreed to keep it between us. Sadly, I miscarried about a week ago, and I was crushed. Oh my gosh.
This poor woman.
That's
oh my
so
God.
hard.
That is so hard.
It's been terrible, but I'm trying to stay busy to keep my mind off of it. Initially, I wanted to skip Thanksgiving, but I wanted my husband to see his family, and I thought it might lift my spirits to be surrounded by loved ones. I wanted to tell my mother-in-law about the miscarriage in person since it felt strange talking to her about it over the phone, but she wasn't free to see me this week. My plan was to talk to her the day after Thanksgiving when we could have a moment alone. Almost immediately after we arrived at my in-laws' house, my mother-in-law's sister hugged me and congratulated me on the pregnancy. Oh,
No.
that is so painful.
No.
I was shocked since my mother-in-law agreed not to tell anyone.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, like, oh, it's not the worst thing ever if, people come up to you or, like, I could understand that happening.
Sure.
But she told them, hey, I don't want to tell anyone because we're trying to be... Come on.
Ugh. I considered saying thank you to not draw attention to myself and put a damper on the night, but I couldn't hide my emotions, and I told her I miscarried. She hugged me and apologized for my loss. A few minutes later, my sister-in-law came over to us and congratulated me. I'm guessing a different sister-in-law.
Right.
I started tearing up as I explained for the 2nd time that I miscarried.
No. It's so bad.
They were both kind, but I was very emotional and frustrated since my in-laws agreed to keep it private. And this was the exact situation that I was seeking to avoid.
Yeah.
A few minutes after I spoke to my sister-in-law, my mother-in-law pulled me to the side and asked why I didn't tell her about the miscarriage. She said it hurt having to hear the news from her older sister instead of from me directly. You poor thing. I'm so sorry for you.
You know what hurts? A miscarriage.
Yeah.
You should, come on.
Come on.
Jeez.
I said that I wanted to tell her in person and was planning on telling her in the morning when we had a moment to ourselves. I said I wasn't expecting to be confronted about the pregnancy since she agreed to keep it private.
Yeah. Come on.
My mother-in-law said she only told her sister and daughter, which was to be expected in this situation since she was so excited.
No, it was expected that you didn't tell anyone because that's what you said what you would do.
Right.
That's what we expected.
Right. I was furious, but didn't have the energy to argue about it. So I said we should talk about it later and enjoy the holiday. I left my mother-in-law and went to socialize with the other relatives. When it was time to eat, my mother-in-law stood up to give the blessing. She started to talk, but then got emotional and began to cry.
Oh, no. Put an ICU in the comments. I know this is going to be so bad.
She asked the family to keep me in their thoughts and prayers since I recently miscarried. You're standing up and announcing this to everyone. Oh, my goodness.
We need to miscarry you, mother-in-law. Okay? We need to abort immediately.
She added that I've miscarried twice before and it's been an emotional experience for everyone. Dude, this is not your experience to share. That's insane.
No.
Not at all. I'd only told my mother-in-law and father-in-law about the previous miscarriages, so she was once again broadcasting my personal medical information. My mother-in-law started talking directly to me and said she knows I'll get through this and that I'll make an amazing mom someday. I couldn't control my emotions and started sobbing in front of the entire family.
Oh.
This all just happened,
Dude,
too. She like just miscarried.
This poor woman is grieving for the third time.
Yes.
And this mother-in-law keeps torturing her.
Yes.
Of course, I like how she's like, oh, I don't like it, but
right.
She's like, oh, I'm overwhelmed that I couldn't help but be emotional. Who wouldn't?
Yes.
Who wouldn't help but be emotional?
Absolutely.
Oh my
goodness.
This
is such a painful experience of like just getting your hopes up and then being devastatedly let down
3 times.
Yeah.
And like all like
and so recently.
Yeah.
It's just
so bad.
A lot. And then in front of everyone. This is just, there's so many levels to this.
It's the worst. Yeah. It's so bad.
I was crying so hard that I was practically choking on my tears and couldn't catch my breath. Oh. My husband was furious and asked his mom why she thought it was appropriate to tell people about my pregnancy and miscarriages. Good on the husband. Yeah.
Tell him, hubby.
Yes. My mother-in-law responded by saying she loves us so much and was just very excited to be a grandma.
Shut up. You don't deserve to be a grandma.
It's just, I can't even, I'm speechless.
What's wrong with you?
With respect to the miscarriages, she said we deserve the family love and support during this difficult time. My husband announced that we were leaving and we left before the turkey was even served. Ooh, I wonder how quiet that table was when they left.
Right. And then the mother-in-law is like, why did you leave when I was about to serve? It's so rude to deny my food. And it's like, yeah, no.
We know exactly how this is going to go down.
Yup.
I cried myself to sleep and woke up feeling horrible. Oh, gosh.
Someone protect her.
Please.
Protect her, please.
This morning, my mother-in-law showed up at my house unannounced.
No.
Leave them alone.
Leave.
She said she wanted to talk to us about what happened. My husband was still fuming, and I told him to let me speak to his mom privately to avoid another fight. I was still upset about what happened, but I wanted to make peace and was willing to accept her apology since the situation has been hard on everyone. If she even apologizes, dude, I might add.
She does not deserve right now. It's like, yo, just leave. Just let me, literally this mother-in-law cannot let Opie have 1 second of peace. 1 second.
My mother-in-law and I sat down together, and instead of apologizing,
here we go.
She lectured me about how I should have told her about the miscarriage before sharing the news with the other relatives.
What do we expect?
Well, she didn't even have time because she didn't even know that you were going to share it with the other people. You stupid person. I want to say so many insults, but then we'd be demonetized.
Exactly.
She said it was hard to hear the news from her sister when she was looking forward to a happy Thanksgiving. Oh, you poor thing, losing your Thanksgiving dinner because of something that you did.
I didn't get to eat the gravy and then everyone was there. I'm so sad. Shut up, Granny. You old freaking Granny.
I won't even play the tiny violin. That's how much you don't deserve it.
You don't even freaking deserve it.
Yeah. She was also upset that I dropped this horrible news at dinner and that I should have found a way to tell her before the holiday, even if it was over the phone. I listen, I'm not a violent person. However, I would slap her.
Granny getting these hands. Granny finna get these hands. It's go time now. It's go time.
It's just, you gone too far. Cross the line. Okay. But I don't condone violence or whatever.
I do.
She also said that if I was still so emotional over the miscarriage, I shouldn't have come to Thanksgiving and risked upsetting all the guests. Girl.
Like, what? At this point, what do you even want?
Yeah.
Do you?
That's just, you are the problem. You are the problem. The mother-in-law, she didn't do anything. She's grieving and you need to leave her alone, okay? Boom, boom, boom. That's me to mother-in-law, okay?
Oh, please. At least let me take out my dentures first No.
No,
you freaking mother-in-law. You want to be a granny, but guess what? You're not. You're just old.
Yes.
You're just an old lady with no grandbabies. Boom.
How's it feel?
Gotcha.
Not worse than OP though, so be quiet.
Oh yeah.
She said she knows I'm going through a lot and forgives me, but she wanted to be honest about her feelings.
Forgives me.
There's nothing even to be forgiven for.
No, not even close.
I was floored. I told my mother-in-law that I may have made some mistakes, but all of this could have been avoided if she had followed through on her promise
Facts.
to keep the pregnancy private.
Facts.
Yes. Like, she was even snooping. Like, she didn't even announce that they were pregnant. She just was caught not drinking.
Literally, like, OP made mistakes, but it's like the mother-in-law made mistakes that are like hurtful.
Yeah.
And like there's a difference between like a hurtful mistake and I'm like, oh, I could have like strategic. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just like sucks. It's like the only mistake that OP could have made is like telling the mother-in-law that she's pregnant or just being around the mother-in-law. That would be a mistake, I think.
The only mistake she made was not getting her on a flight to Canada and just being like, all right, there you go.
Right.
Bye. And then everyone just abandons her. That would be great.
Yeah. I said she owed both my husband and myself an apology. Good for you, OP. Yes. I'm so glad.
Stand on business, queen.
Yes. My mother-in-law asked if I would also apologize for making a scene at Thanksgiving. I didn't think I owed her an apology under the circumstances, and I expressed that clearly. Good. Oh my goodness. This is so refreshing.
Nice work communicating.
Yes. There's so many stories where it's like, please stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
And you're doing it. And I'm so glad.
Dude. WOP.
She left in tears and said I was lashing out because of the traumatic pregnancies. You poor thing.
You about to experience some trauma.
Yeah.
Because of these. I can't, like we said, we can't say it. But you watching, you know.
Right. Got some physical therapy here. That's what we got.
Nice. If you want some therapy from us.
If you want some normal therapy from us, you can join us live on YouTube and TikTok and Facebook every single weekday at 3 p.m. PST. Just tap our profile.
Do it.
And we'll be there for you.
Yeah.
We'll be ready to fight all of your enemies, just like this mother-in-law.
Yeah. We got you.
But there is a little bit more, but I think we need to take a breather.
Let's talk.
Oh my goodness. I'm just like, you know what I mean?
I think this might be one of those situations where you go to husband. Now, husband has stood up for
yes.
I don't necessarily think husband did anything wrong per se.
Right.
But I think that this mother-in-law is so insane.
Yes.
That you got to sit down with the husband and be like, listen, I cannot keep having a mother-in-law go with this. I think maybe you go to her and be like, listen, if you want to, we want to have you in our life. We want to have you in the grandbaby's life.
Right.
But if you keep doing what you're doing, it's going to be absolute game over. And apologizing for what you've done, understanding what you've done, stop, completely stopping any of that behavior. Anytime we bring up a thing, you're like, I'm sorry, and we don't see you do it again. That is what needs to happen for my wife to be in your life, and then most importantly for mother-in-law, the grandbaby to be in your life.
Yes, that's a good point too.
Because we've heard it in stories before where the person's like, I'm not going to ask my partner to cut off their mom per se. Sometimes they should, but
right. It's hard to ask.
Yeah, it's hard to ask. But in this one, I think you could say hey, look, I want to limit my time and exposure to you if you're going to keep doing this. If you keep doing what you're doing, and the baby's time, and whatnot,
whenever that wonderful day comes.
I feel like that is what it takes now, because I don't know what else is going to make her see the freaking light other than being sent to the good man upstairs.
Yes. This is, I think OP's husband has done everything that not everything that he can, but he's done a good job of saying his piece, you know? And I mean, the reason that OP wanted to talk to her privately was so that there wasn't a fight, because she knew that the husband would do that, you know?
Yes. She was trying to look out for you.
Right. But I think you're right. I think he can go an extra step further and just like lay down the law. Just like, listen, you cannot say this. You cannot do that. Or else like, here's are the consequences. You can't see your future grandbabies when we ever, make it happen. I think I agree. But there's even more to this story.
Oh my Lord.
My husband said I shouldn't apologize and also canceled our Christmas plans with his family. Yes. That's what we want. While I think my mother-in-law behaved poorly, part of me wants to apologize to diffuse the situation. No.
Don't do it.
Nuh-uh. Don't do it. I also know that this has been challenging for my mother-in-law as well, and we don't always react perfectly in these situations. You're too nice right now. Yeah. I also feel badly that I let my emotions get the better of me and put a damper on the evening. Girl, you had no choice. This was
you chilling.
Yeah.
Don't even sweat it.
Yeah, this is something you could not control. Yeah. Like not even the miscarriage, but like the reaction to it.
Yes.
Not in your control, especially so recently and your mother, you know what I mean?
Agreed.
It's just you're good. So, am I the a-hole for how I handled the situation and for refusing to apologize when my mother-in-law visited our home? And that's the end, but I think we made our answer pretty clear.
Nope.
No.
That's
Done.
It.
That's all you even need to say.
That's all she wrote,
yeah.
Literally.
Literally.
Yeah.
No, not the a-hole.
So there you have it.
Whew, that was a crazy one. Oh my goodness.
That was a crazy one.
Yeah, but that is the end of that story.